Hey guys, this is Eric with Painting Business Pro. This week we're going to talk about the biggest complaint, challenge, or excuse I hear when it comes to building teams. And that is, there's a few variations of it, alright? But it's people are unreliable, people are ineffective. People don't usually say that word, but they're like, I can't find anybody who's good at sales. I can't find anybody who does this as good as me. I can't find anybody, blah, 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 blah. Or untrustworthy. You know, like, I need a babysit, I need to manage, I need to blah, blah, blah. Okay, so, but it's some complaint about ability to build teams, right? Or I can't find someone else who cares as much about quality as I do. Or I can't find anybody else who's as good at selling as I am. Or I can't find any, and so it's some version of that. Now, we'll actually start at the bottom here because team building is really tough. Okay, so I'll just be straight up about that. It's not an easy skill to learn, but you're definitely getting in your own way, and the best way for you to get better at building teams is to start to find where you're in your own way, set that aside, and then I gotta just take responsibility for that. So if I can't find someone who cares about quality as much as I do, why not? Why can't I? Because there are people out there, look, there's 7 billion people on the planet. There's somebody out there who cares as much about quality as you do. In fact, if you are so arrogant to think that there is not somebody out there who is better than you at everything you do, you're crazy. I don't know if there's anything that I'm the absolute best at. I could look at every single thing I'm good at and probably find someone who's better. All right, I know there's people who are better than me at sales. I know there's people who are better than me at project management. I know there's people who are better than me in building systems and SOPs. I know there's better recruiters. I know there's better trainers. I know there's better leaders. I know there's better color consultants. I know there's better painters. I know there's better door-to-door marketers. I know there's better marketing managers. I know there's better everything than me out there. And so I'd be curious, if I can't find somebody who cares about quality as much as me, what am I not doing right that I can't find that person? Or do I have an unreasonable expectation, like I'm not willing to take responsibility for, look, it's my job to find that person, it's my job to train them, and it's my job to support them. And part of it is, I think people have an unrealistic expectation for bringing new people on the team. See, I think a lot of people, and this may not be you, but I think a lot of people in building teams want someone who's perfect right away. But it's just crazy. Like, you have this image of the perfect project manager or the perfect salesperson, and you want to hire them, tell them what you want and need, and then they do it. You're going to be looking a long, long time, okay? Because you've been working for 20 years or 10 years or 30 years, and anybody you hire has been working for 5 years or 15 years or 20 or 30 or 40 years, you have very different backgrounds. To think that you're just going to be a perfect match, if you're looking for just that perfect match and someone that just knows exactly how you want things done, exactly how to work, how to handle this situation, how to handle that situation, you're never going to find someone who's just a perfect match right away. And you can do a darn good job setting expectations with people, but you can't set every expectation for everything that could possibly happen. And so there's got to be some level of, I got to just be responsible for the training and support and development of this relationship. If I'm building teams, my job is to do a really good job recruiting the right people. But then I need to do a really good job training those people. And then I need to do a really good job supporting those people and developing our working relationship to be exactly how I want it to be. And so part of this is, look, like sometimes you gotta go backwards to go forward. Sometimes you might be better at managing production than the person you bring in, but it's your job to train them. It's your job to start to train yourself to be a trainer. It's your job to be able to learn how to get other people to be really great. You know, the sales team I have now, they all are better salespeople than I ever was. Their results in sales, they crushed my record. I don't even know what my record ever was, but our record right now is like 58,000 in residential sales in 1 week. I certainly never did that. So let's look at some of the things here. So the first thing is you got to take responsibility for every part of it. You got to take 100% responsibility for building your team. and just consider in all situations this was something I did. I either misstepped something in recruiting and brought on the wrong person, but you got to be careful of the trap. That's the trap most people fall in, is like, wrong person. I can't find anyone who's these things. No, before I decide it's the wrong person, I got to know that I did my job here. And I got to know I did my job here. And then I can go and say, okay, maybe it was recruiting. So with recruiting, I need to deserve the best people. So if it really isn't a recruiting issue, the question is, like, do you really deserve to have great people? And we're going to answer that question now. So you want to look at your training process. So that's like from the moment someone gets hired, like, do you sign an employment agreement? Do you have an employment agreement for your team? Do you have a professional onboarding process? Do you have a document for, like, here's all the steps we do to onboard you? We get your payroll information, we get this set up, we get your direct deposit set up, here's the company values, here's the training you go through, here's the step-by-step process of how you're going to train. And then your whole training process is, do you have standard operating procedures? Do you have a written system that this role follows? So if you just hired a project manager and you expect this level of quality, well, do you have a system and a process for them to follow to get that level of quality? If you don't have a dialed in system, then you have no chance. That's all the stuff that's in the Painting Business Pro course, is the systems and the employment agreements and the training processes, because that has to be there, that foundation for a new employee to have success. So you can say, hey, here's the results you need to get, and here's how you get that one, 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 and here's the documents, here's the scripts, here's the word-for-word documentation, here's all the hypothetical situations that come up and how you handle that one and that one and that one and that one. And do you have that in place, first of all? If you don't, that's what you should start with. If you have that in place, how good is your training? So just rate yourself, and you got to be honest with yourself. Rate yourself 1 to 10. 10 would be world class training. You would put your training program up against any company out there. The Ritz-Carlton, go compare your training process to them. Go compare your training process to someone on Wall Street. Go compare it to, I don't even know the best companies in the world when it comes to training, but I can tell you that our training process is probably a lot better than yours, and I would probably give us like a 6. I think by the end of the year we'll probably get to like an 8, because we're really working on this. So you got to be real with yourself here. If you aren't doing a great job here, this is going to limit how good of people you can get, because how good someone is trained determines how well they perform in their role, which determines their compensation, which determines how good the position is, which comes back to, is it an awesome position? See, our team is starting to get so good that I think in another year or so, our project managers are going to be able to make $100,000 a year, because our systems are getting so good, our training is getting so good that we're recruiting better people, and then they're making the training and systems better so we can recruit better people, and we're trying to get our company to a point where people can make really good money, while the company actually becomes more profitable because our systems are so dialed in. So, do I deserve the best people? How good is my training? How good is the compensation, the training? How good is the environment? Are there benefits? What's the culture like in the team? What's the support like? Are there future opportunities for me to grow? Are there bonuses or incentives? These are some things you can consider. Do I get a vehicle? Do I get gas or phone stipends? Do I get 401k? How good is the position? How good is the culture? How good is the company? This is one place I can evaluate myself on. And look, this is a process, okay? This takes time to put all this stuff in place. My training, is it 1 to 10? 10 being world class. How good is my training? How extraordinary is my training? And the next thing is support. Look, most people are managers and bosses. They kind of demand results. They want results. They're upset when people don't get results. Are you a manager boss, or are you someone who supports, empowers, and trains your team? That's all I do. I support, empower, and train people. That's it. And by the way, it never ends. So again, rate yourself 1 to 10 on this. Better yet, ask what do you think your employees would say? If they said, On a 1 to 10 scale, how much do you think your boss supports, trains, and empowers you in your career and your work? 1 to 10. And they might say, oh, whatever, honest answer. They'll probably give you the benefit of the doubt if they like you. And do you think your boss, your direct report is your business owner? Is he more of a manager or boss, or somebody more is like a support role and really trains you and develops you and invests into you? How much would you say your company invests into your training and development? And then we already covered this one. So like these give you a few places to look. So the bottom line is, if you're having trouble building a team, look, I've been working on this a long time and I still got a lot of work to do. It's not that people are unreliable. It's that you haven't set good expectations. It's not that people are ineffective. It's that you didn't train them worth a damn, or you don't have good systems for them to even follow, so they're just trying to figure it out. You probably were pretty ineffective when you were trying to figure it out. They're untrustworthy. Well, you might not have good accountability in place, or good expectations in place, or good... Look, people can't be untrustworthy in our company because we track everything. You can't BS us. So this is all things you can be totally responsible for as you build teams. And it's a process. And if you want to shorten the process, check out the Painting Business Pro course, because we already have a lot of the systems and training in place. We have employment agreements in place and recruiting forms in place and training systems and processes in place. And that's the team building stuff is in the PBP growth course. So we'll drop a link to that below the video. Or you can build it all on your own, and that's totally fine. Now, if your company is doing $700,000 a year and up, contact me, because you're in a position where things start getting more complex, and it's actually probably worth having a coach. So shoot me an email to eric@paintingbusinesspro.com if your business is doing $700K and up, and I'll get you in touch with a company that you should talk with, because they're going to help you grow way faster. That's it for now. Let me know in the comments what you got out of this video, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and we will see you next week with one last big challenge people run into. We'll see you then.